Okay, guys, this is my third uh, drum kit tour, and this here is the big bad booty daddy. This is my Pearl Reference Redline kit. These were made in 2008. They were only 50 of them made, I believe, in the world. It might be 50 in North America. But these are Pearl's top of the line professional series drum kit. The reason they call these Redline is, I'll try to zoom into the bass drum a little bit. These drums are all black lacquer. There's no wrap. This is actually a paint job. And black hardware on all the drums. And you see these red gaskets. And they make the drums look absolutely fucking mean. I wish there was a nicer way to say it, but I feel if I don't swear, I can't get the point across how beautiful these drums are. This comes in a mixed wood configuration. The people at Pearl, through trial and error, and actually more so through their custom drum orders that they were getting from artists, they discovered that it's best if you have different types of wood, different thicknesses of wood, different barren edges, etc., depending on the drum. My last two drum kits that I showed you, my Pearl Masters and my Pearl Vision, were all 100% maple. The Masters was all the same number of plies, 6, and the Vision had 6 plies on some drums and 8 plies on the bigger drums. Now that 6-8 combination on the Vision series, Pearl actually got that from their reference series, and this features the same 6-8 ply combination. Now on this is a 12 by 8 tom. It is 6 plies, 100% maple. It has die cast rims. Die cast rims really help the drum tune itself. I mentioned before in my other videos, but I don't use tape, I don't use moon gel, I don't use Remo rings, I don't use muffles. I feel honestly that if you have to use those things, one, either you don't tune very good, or two, you have a cheaper drum set. And I don't mean that disrespectful. It's just with these high-end drum sets, you really just don't need to muffle them, providing you tune them correctly. All the toms are fitted with Remo Emperor tops and Remo Ambassador bottoms. Also, the rack tom has, now this is true of my Masters kit too, I didn't mention it, but the rack toms on Pearl's Professional series have the Pearl OptiMount system, which actually mounts the drum to the lugs. There's no holes in either the toms, and the kick mount does not exist because this is a virgin kick, which means there's no holes in the drums. That's also true of the Masters kit that you saw in the last video. High-end kits typically feature virgin bass drums. Before I forget, you notice there's no snare here. As with the Masters kit, high-end kits do not come with snare drums. When you buy a reference kit, as when you buy a Masters kit, you get 3 toms and a kick, and that's it. I have not purchased a reference snare yet because they're damn near $900 for a snare drum, but if I gig with this kit, which I do not like to do, I usually use my Masters premium snare drum. The reason I do not like gigging with this kit, frankly, is that it is heavy as hell, and 2, it is very expensive. This 5-piece kit Again, it's very rare. There's only 50 that were made. But this kit new would retail at Guitar Center or Sam Ash for about $3,500. And that again is just for 3 toms and the kick drum. No pedals, no hardware, no cymbals, no snare. Just the 3 toms and the kick drum. This kick drum is longer than usual. This is a 22 by 20 kick drum. The kick drums on my other kits are both 22 by 18. This is fitted with a Remo Powersonic bass drum head. Absolutely the best sounding kick drum and the best bass head I've found. I also use this combination on my Masters kit. Now the kick drum and the floor toms are mixed. They have inner plies of African mahogany, and they have the inner plies would be maple and the outer plies would be African mahogany. And as the drum gets bigger, there is more of a ratio, a higher ratio of mahogany to maple. And the reason is the mahogany increases low end. Another thing that Pearl did that is different is the barren edges. I didn't cover barren edges in my last video because barren edges in my other drums, they're all the same. They're 45-degree angle. The barren edge is this end of the drum right here, where the head meets the rim, or I guess the shell of the drum. On the floor toms and on the kick drum, the rounded edges are completely rounded. That allows for a deeper fundamental tone. On the rack tom, it's a 45-degree, which it brings you a little bit more presence. So on the smaller toms, you have more presence, more in your face. And as the toms and the drums get bigger, you have more booty, more low end. My cymbals I covered in my last video, so I'm not going to do that again. But again, as I mentioned before, I do use the exact same cymbal setup in all my kits. So again, this is my baby, my Pearl reference kit. I absolutely love it. I got it a steal on it from Canada, and I will never sell it, but likely I will not gig with it too much because it's too damn